all I would say was to be careful not to turn what we do here, particularly the contemplations in the body like we did earlier this morning or with Ellen, into any kind of a practice in order to enable us to better cope with circumstances in the world.
But why not if they help us to stay more aware?
Because they only temporarily help with the situation. If our only way of dealing with a situation in the world is by maintaining a position inside, then there is a very subtle defense going on. The reason that the situation in the world has power over us in the first place is because of this contraction inside. If we then have to maintain a position, an internal position, in order to cope with the external world, very subtly we are perpetuating this contraction. This is why in this approach the emphasis is not on maintaining any kind of a position, or not maintaining our attention anywhere, but it's about the dissolution of these residues and contractions. And when that is empty inside, there is nothing in the outside world that can trouble you anymore. When you meet a troublesome situation in the outside world, there's just no longer any hooks in you. Therefore, you don't have to maintain any position. You don't have to give your attention to anything in order to stay anchored. There is just nothing in you that can be hooked onto, which means, in fact, that you are able to be totally present to this situation without resistance in the outside world. And it's the response that comes from this total openness that actually heals or initiates healing in this situation out there, in the person or the situation. But it doesn't come from a practice, from maintaining any kind of an internal position. It's precisely the absence of that.
Yeah, I don't think I meant that really.
Okay.
I meant paying attention to what happens in the system, in the body system. And in doing so, it dissolves.
Yes.
That's the experience. If I ignore it, and if I want the situation to go away,
yes,
then I reinforce it.
Exactly, yes. When you first described it, I heard more that you were kind of anchoring your attention in the body in order to keep yourself stable when faced with a difficult situation in the world.
Yeah. And I said that because I have a habit of disassociating from the body in order to escape situations that had difficult feelings and emotions.
Yes.
And so to come back and allow that and to feel that helps to create more space.
Yes. So in this situation now, when you're confronted with a difficult situation in the world, you're aware of both the feelings in your own body and the feelings in the one that you are confronted with. You're aware of them both equally.
Yeah, in fact, sometimes there is no boundary.
You can't tell where
it's like whatever I'm dealing with, even the group, I can feel it in me.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. And as our own bodies become more and more empty and transparent, then this empty space is like an invitation for these feelings over here, that they're completely welcomed in our own body.
Without judging.
And without any kind of agenda for or against. And that is the true healing. In other words, we deal with somebody else's feelings just as we deal with our own feelings, which means we don't deal with them. We're just totally open without judgment.
Yeah.
That is the real healing. And as you say, it can happen just silently between two people. This quality of openness and emptiness is somehow conveyed. And the other will feel that their feelings are being welcomed.
Yeah.
In this space, and the space actually doesn't belong to either party. It's just empty space.
Yeah, it's magical.
That's the true healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.